Yup, I have to go. It's not because the building is bad, it's perfect size for the stuff I want to do. You know, the price is great as well, the landlord's a legend, and location-wise, it's really not far away from neighborhoods and things, so there's like shops and things a walk away. I have to leave because of the worst neighbors. Not my immediate ones, again, they are legends, and they don't mind hearing engines rev and drums bang away. It's this place. Parafield Airport. When I originally checked out this warehouse, I did see the airport not far away and thought, well, that's stinking neato. I mean, I love anything with an engine in it, and I've got a passing fancy with planes, mate. Maybe see a Beechcraft Bonanza. The Cessna 310, their first twin engine ever since the war. Oh, mate, maybe I'd hear a radial engine in person, where all the pistons are in a circle and it's totally wild and is actually related to the V-twin in motorbikes. Well, it turns out this place is mainly used as an aircraft training school, which I saw nothing against, mate. You gotta learn how to fly somewhere. And mate, the planes are tiny, so I wouldn't even hear them against the hustle and bustle of an industrial park. Oh, how wrong I was. Turns out these things are the loudest idiots on the planet. Before we get to the real awfulness, mate, here's how long one pass takes from one of these planes. Overly loud motorbikes and cars are actually super annoying to me. Loud doesn't mean good, but they're gone within seconds. The planes crawl through the sky in comparison, and like, that one wasn't even that loud. I had to get some work done here at this warehouse where they had to get out a concrete saw right by my door. It's the same volume. It's just as loud as the concrete saw, despite being hundreds of feet further away. Also, mate, I get it. It's like the awfulness is because the planes are at the volume of a concrete saw, right? No. Being a casual plane enthusiast, I have Flight Radar 24, which lets you track and see planes all over the world. It's terrifying. Well, like one day I noticed that they were insanely busy with like a plane passing over my head like every 4 minutes or so. And I'm like, mate, I had to see what kind of convoy they were sending out. Well, turns out they do laps! Where one plane can torture you for literally 2 hours. Well, mate, so like that's the awfulness, yeah? It's like the sound of a giant lawnmower where like one plane can just lap you for 2 hours, right? No! They don't just lap one plane over us. Mate, they launch convoys of planes all doing laps. Oh, mate, my favorite bit. If they get 3 of them in the air doing laps at once, it guarantees there to be endless noise. Oh, mate, and even better, you can still hear the first one as the second plane arrives. I have 3 music degrees, and if 2 notes are almost the same, they sound the worst. Now imagine the sound of 2 giant lawnmowers are almost in sync. It's a headache factory. Well, at least they never lap more than 3 planes at once. Well, that's a lie. I'm here to report there was a day where they had 7. 7! You can't imagine the sound that made. And you don't have to because I recorded it. Oh, mate, so like that's the awfulness then. So like giant lawnmower sound at the volume of a concrete saw lapping over your head endlessly every weekday 9 to 5. Oh, mate, that's truly rough. No. Oh, 9 to 5 weekdays. That's cute. No. 7 days a week, 24 hours. They never close. Sundays, public holidays, mate, they don't care.
It's Good Friday. First thing in the morning.
Like, I've gotten here at 6 a.m. to get some filming done, and they got started at 6:30 a.m. Mawson Lakes is nearby, which is a beautiful little mini city, like it's super lovely. Well, they get lapped at 10 p.m. Anyone living normal working hours, you're trying to sleep at that hour.
It's 10 o'clock at night. And the planes keep coming.
Because, you know, as I said at the start, there are houses nearby, and like, surely they'd hate this, and you bloody bet they do. Folks have gotten coverage on main news forming protests about this.
The plane noise pollution sending Adelaide residents into a spin.
Here at Parafield Airport, small aircraft can take off from 4 different runways 7 days a week.
Like a flying lawnmower.
Going all the time, it's just constant.
It's just hopeless.
Have you thought about moving out?
The thing is that I can't afford to move out.
You know, it's real sad, like, people want the government to see what's happening, or it's like, oh, sorry to break it to you, mate, but it's like the government's idea, hey. And then the airport's made a statement saying, well, yeah, the noise is awful, but it makes money. You know, speaking to locals and reading online, like, it was never an issue until 10 years ago when it became the Hong Kong-owned flight school. That's when the laps began. Casual flyers coming and going, or emergency landings by the heroic Royal Flying Doctor Service or CFS. And honestly, the laps are the biggest issue. Like the days when they just fly away and don't lap, it's not bad. Like, folks wonder, why do I need a warehouse? And it's because I want to play with cars and drums all day and night, and I don't want to be that neighbor ruining up folks' peace. I rent a dump hole amongst industry to not cause bother, and in return, like, I don't have to deal with complaints. It's a two-way street. And you know, these folks are allowed to make as much noise as they want at any hour, and even poison the air while doing it. Avgas has lead in it. Oh mate, it's only got a little bit of lead in it. No, there's no such thing as a healthy amount of lead. No percent. Luckily, most of the learner planes are diesel, but most of the casual flyers are flying old bangers needing lead in them.
You can still hear it. It's bullshit.
And like, real estate agents are dodgy. Now, I looked around, a house listed right under the Parafield laps. It was listed as perfect for people with a silent lifestyle. Every hobby has to make concessions on noise, mate. If you want to drive your car fast, you go to a track. If you want to hit a golf ball, you have to go to a range. Oh, come on, if these things have to be that loud, like, surely there should be strict lanes they have to adhere to. Like, big planes have to. I mean, we do as drivers. We can't just drive wherever we like. It's so sad. South Australia is one of the most desolate states there is. One of the least populated places on the planet, where all of us are piled into these little clumps, and they have to lap over most of them. And look, the airplane laps are super important. It's about control with changing wind conditions, and laying down perfect laps is harder than it looks. They do laps elsewhere. But then, like, look at this. It's nighttime, right? Sleeping time. The hall stays empty, but no. Let's lap over these poor people. And like, I was getting migraines. I've never had migraines in my life. You know, hearing this noise for one day is one thing, but after months, it's mentally destroying. Every waking hour is planes. More nasty things that get sent is, well, if you don't like it, just move then.
Have you thought about moving out?
The thing is that I can't afford to move out.
Oh, we haven't been in a housing bubble for the last decade or anything. So many people are struggling to rent a house. And you got these wealthy people telling you to move for their hobby. Again, the volume of these planes, like, they say it's the propellers causing the noise, but I don't care. Noise is noise. Like, look how far away this plane is, and yet... block out road traffic with a big old fence. I mean, like, noise is just air pressure. Look at all the homes near all the major roads and they've just got big fences. They work amazing. But planes attack from above. Like, you'd literally need to build a bunker to block them out. It's all very ironic, me being a big noisemaker myself, complaining about this, but in the past, I've had the police called on me while practicing drums for my music exams, which was my career before making videos. And, you know, and I'd explain, like, well, I've got an exam tomorrow, this is my study, and the police say, well, we don't care, stop. It was 5 p.m. on a Wednesday, and yet the council had a meeting announcing they were allowing more planes, yes! More! They're not even up to the maximum yet, and the police were standing behind the council members for that one. I'm rambling now because this has been an awful year. Like, absolutely awful. It goes all the way to the government, and I can't fight that. I'm just a dumb dingus that wants to make fun vids. So, I found another warehouse. I've actually hired old mate James for 2 days a week, and for the last 8 months, I've been working on finally making my own filming studio, which is what the first warehouse was meant to be. Guys, there's a hoist for car stuff! I wanted the hoist fitted within the first 3 months, but like, yeah, the planes, I had to do so much thinking. This is a drum dungeon James built for my drum streams. I laid out the specs, I laid out the materials, and then James did the numbers, and then he's a damn enigma, that man, and we did it cheap by doing it ourselves. Going down to local Bunnings, mate, and Kane is a subscriber. On you, Kane, mate, you cut all them pieces of wood perfect. And, like, that's why there haven't been many videos here. Dane Pods always came first, and any spare time, I had to tear down everything I did to start all over again. I mean, it took just 3 months just to find a commercial real estate agent that actually had something to rent. Moved all my dumb vehicles to off-site storage, since, you know, we only need to play with one of them at a time anyway. And another bonus, this is a smaller place, but it means cheaper rent. Man, I used to love planes. Mainly the engineering, just, you know, the idea of flying as a human is nuts. Cars are now solid-state speed machines, and planes are still noisy garb. It just ruined planes for me. I can't stand them anymore. I'm exhausted. I never want to talk about this again.
Surely there's a way that folks can fly their planes and people can live in peace. Come on, we can figure it out. Isn't that right, Frank? We can figure it out. Frank, come on.